Buonasera a tutti, buonasera. The trio's back together. The intern, the sidekick. Who's the sidekick? I gotta be the sidekick, Steve. You're the star of the show. But guys, I think we're ready. Do we have already 19 people watching live? Do we just get straight into it? I think we should just get straight into it, gentlemen.
Let's do it. Yes.
Attachez vos trucs.
Welcome to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Milan fans all over the world, with your hosts, Vinny T and Stevie P.
Benvenuti nella casa
Giroud in area, si gira, sinistro, rete, gol capolavoro di Olivier Giroud.
Mignon with another magical save.
Coast to coast del numero 19.
Leao carica il boccino. Eccolo qua, Rafa Leao.
Il Milan è campione d'Italia.
Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast. Here we talk everything Milan. È arrivato a Milan, and we're done tracking planes in Milan. And, we got Stevie P, we got Bustin Yann here. Guys, thank you to everybody live watching. We had a nice little group therapy session yesterday. Now it's time for the Milan Weekly Podcast. And yes, Presidente gave us some duties, guys. He gave us some housekeeping stuff to go through. But before we get into that, I just wanted to take the time, just wanted to send out our condolences to to Jason DeTulio. Lost his battle to cancer early in the week, and 38 years old, way too early to life is precious, guys. I knew him a bit more back in the day. Steve, I know a bit better. Very talented guy that what a career that he had. And at one point looking that he was an assistant coach and he's got DJ Drogba right next to him. But I think it was felt throughout, especially us here, Italians in the East End, that we kind of all saw him growing up. But it was sad news, and kudos to CF Montreal to doing a nice tribute on the game itself. But I think I could speak for all of us to say condolences to Jason's family.
Condolences.
Let's switch up some stuff, guys. So we do have a couple of things to talk about. You guys are more the fantacalcio kind of guys, but Presidente, he got on the Twitter machine. He got in contact. No, actually, probably sent him a fax. But guys, there is the MWP Serie A Fantasy League for the season. You do have the SerieAFantasy.com website right there. The league code all in lowercase. President had made a mistake at the beginning, but guys, describe this Fantacalcio, and I know there's going to be some weekly prizes, but you guys have been doing this for a while. Steve, maybe you could describe, if anybody wants to join, it's totally free to join as well.
Yeah, I've done these ones before. You're just basically picking your team. You have a limited amount of transactions that you can do throughout the season or the year, and I think you have, if I'm not mistaken, I saw 2 or 1 wild card where you can pretty much change up the whole team. And this is week to week. You start you have some free transfers that you can make, but you can't really change up your whole team. So you're picking from the beginning and you're just making changes as you go. Look, it's pretty fun for a lot of people who maybe might not know all the players that are Fantacalcio must-haves in the rest of the teams. It's a good way to have a little pot of money and make yourself your own team and see how you fare against the professionals.
So we're getting Nathan saying any fantasy culture tips for first timers. Yeah, and even Liban he's a first timer. Any good consigli?
Well, you don't want to blow your load on one player in these types of Fantacalcio layouts. Well, in any Fantacalcio layout, you don't really want to blow your load on one player. But I think trying to find value in defenders or midfielders that can get you some points is an added value, because when you pick strikers and attackers, they're there to get the assist and the goals. If you can get secondary scoring from other positions, you're in the money, as they say. So that's something to look out for. And because it's a type of pool where everybody can have the same type of player, right? There can be similar starting 11s. It's really important to do your homework and try and pick that one player from a Spezia or a guy from, Udinese. That these are teams that someone has to score goals, right? Just like us, someone has to play right wing. So you got to pick somebody, and you hope that you get the right choice. For example, in my Fantacalcio, I put one coin on Junior Messias. I'm hoping as a break, bounce back here. So it's all about making educated guesses, and sometimes you lose on them, and sometimes you win. Last year for me, it was Pedro from Lazio. One coin, and he had a great season. So
there we go. So guys, we will be updating this on a weekly kind of basis. So serieafantasy.com, and you got the league code right over there, and we will be tweeting it out soon. On to the next thing. We did have the FIFA tournament, guys, a while ago, and with the Fondazione Milan, and there was a draw, and Presidente sent over the list of people that won in this draw. Steve, probably something that we're a good relationship that we're having with the Fondazione Milan, and probably we're going to be doing something in this year too, which is kind of good. Always giving back with Kulash, and hopefully we could do some more. Would it be a FIFA tournament or any kind of ideas, right? But it's always good. It's a couple of times now. This is what, our third tournament? Yeah, and you've played in these tournaments as well.
Not very long, but I played, yes, just at the beginning.
I lasted about 4 minutes where I thought I was going to be able to play like I played 20 years ago, and I bought a PlayStation 4 just for that. Well, anyways. But the guys, a list of these winners. So here are Nathan, Giacomo, Fabio. Long Island Fabio's over there. Look at that. Davide, Aaron, Ray, Daniel, Francesco, Munib, Nicholas, Anthony, Jorge, Eden, Juan Carlos, David Fante. Look at him winning some stuff. Massimo, Valon, and Fedele all winning a sort of a prize. And look at Nathan from our Patreon family, even him off taking care of his kid, €50 gift card. Presidente will be sending you all the information. So congratulations to all the winner. And Brandon saying FIFA 23 looks awesome so far. I'm not getting sucked in this one time. I'll watch you guys on the Twitch there. I'll prefer doing that. Or Steve, maybe we could get a Virtua Striker 96. Remember that one we used to have it at the bar, at the arcade. Yeah. At the arcade, those were good times. All right, guys. Anything else do you want to add in the housekeeping stuff?
No,
that's about it. All right, so guys, I was thinking, because of this whole thing going on with the CDK. You guys, you think we could do the same thing when I'm going over for the Derby? Maybe Yann, you could tweet out, he's almost arrived. His flight might be leaving tomorrow. He might be arriving at this time. Then breaking news from North America, he has landed, and you could send out the pictures. Maybe we'll get clicks like these people are getting clicks. But if you guys saw the video came out, he is there. And he's there, he's waving, but the Stevie P still hasn't signed anything. Maybe he has rotten teeth. He's got the medical to pass. But I just wanted, before we get into it, our friend Rajat from Twitter sent us an instant. He slid into our DMs, guys, and a great article if you guys want to go check it out at Rajat Kumar. But Steve, how about you? It's finally done, or you're still on that? I'm waiting until he signs those papers.
Well, look, it's done there, but I don't know why people are surprised. This has been happening all the time. Every time Milan has signed someone that they've spent a lot of time on, they make a big deal about it. But now it's just magnified because of social media. So I don't know why everybody's surprised that there's all these videos. This is what it is now. You need those videos. If you don't, then people are going to ask you why you don't have those videos. So
that's true. But we're all happy. This is guys, Saint Lucia in the house. We're all over the place. I love it. And Yann, how about you? It's enough. It's done. Let's move on. Because it's like we were tracking plane. He's not arriving.
Yeah, but that's
Saturday.
Tradition, man. They always track the planes. So it's tradition. That's what they do over there. Look, I mean, he still has to pass the medical, right? So, I know the agreements are agreed. Everything's agreed on, but
we'll see what happens from there.
I wanted 99.9.
I asked this to the guys yesterday. I wanted to get your guys' opinion. A guy like Leao that we paid almost 30, we gave him over 2 years of patience in developing. Tonali, same thing. I think everybody can remember Steve's rants on Tonali the first year. Will CDK have the same kind of treatment? Will he have a chance to develop, Steve, especially with this whole back and forth to the price tag? What do you think? Will the Milan fans faithful give him that time? Or if we are to believe what we read or people that actually know this kid, he should fit him just nicely?
You have to give him time. Even though he comes from Bruges and he had successful domestic career so far, I don't think he's ever been out of Belgium. So he's got to adapt to Serie A. He's got to adapt to the language. We know that's a big thing for these players coming from abroad. Everybody has to manage their expectations and give him time. We will be tough on him. We will continue to be tough on him. What he has that Tonali and Leao do not have is Champions League experience. So the pressure is much more on CDK than it should have been on Tonali and Leao. If you're talking about soccer, if you're just on here to write articles and clickbait, he falls into the same category. If you're looking for, comparing apples to apples, this is not apples to apples. Tonali came from Empoli, from Brescia, not too much of the experience other than Serie A, and now we see that we gave him some time. We had to we were tough when we had to be tough. He learned, and now he's developing. It still has a lot of room to improve into a pretty good midfield. Leao, same thing. We went from coming from Sporting, then to Lille, and yes, a little bit more travel, but not too much game time, and a wild, super talent, but very wild. And it's funny that even Florenzi's comments still to today echo what we've been saying for 2 years. He needs to find ways to stay in the game, and it's not by dribbling around. It's proof is in the pudding. So they're always developing. But CDK coming with Champions League experience, I think the pressure is going to be more on him. I hope that Milan and the players could shield him a bit, and I think Pioli will gradually include him in. But it depends where we're going to slot him in, right? So if it's right wing, I think it's a blessing for him. In terms of I hope. And I don't think he can do worse than what we saw with Macias and Salchicha Maker, and we even won a Scudetto like that. So,
and to Yann, I'm going to ask because new Patreon member Nicholas from last week, and thank you, Joey, joined today. Welcome to the Patreon family. Nicholas asks, will CDK play cam or right wing? So we've been seeing how Adli has been just so far in preseasons impressive. Again, it is preseason, but if he's going to move him to the right wing, I saw he's played right wing, but what do you think? Is it going to be, what are we going to do? Move Diaz to the right wing?
I think we still have Messias and Salsicha Maker on the right side. Possibly Origi is what I'm thinking on the right side whenever he's fit to play. From what I was reading, any reports, because I've never really watched him besides a little bit in Champions League, right? CDK. From what I read, there's a big chance he plays center forward in front of Adli. And, with the way that Leao likes to cut in, kind of gives him a bit more liberty, maybe like a false nine type of thing in the front there. But I from what I read from the Belgian side on Twitter, and this is, again, just what I'm reading, playing him on the right side wouldn't be the best utilization of CDK. And if they're going to get him, I think they're going to put him in a position to succeed. You might see him share time with Adli, or you might see him playing in front of it. We don't have another striker right now either, right? We just have Giroud and Ibra.
Of Lazetic, what are you talking about?
Lazetic is there, but it doesn't seem like they have confidence in him. It would make sense why CDK would play in front over there. But like Steve said, if they put him on the right side, can he do any worse than the guys we already had over there? I don't think so. He has a high work rate. He presses a lot. So, yeah, in theory, he could do very well on the right side. It's just, again, what I read from the Belgian tweets, it doesn't seem like we should be using him there. But then again, this is on Twitter, right? Maybe they're all wrong, and
I think
he's going to be a demon on the right side.
On the position on the right, there wasn't that many presences on the right side. But I guess we'll see because looking at all these preseason, I know it's still preseason, but at least I saw some sort of improvement from Macias, and Salamakers looks exactly the same. You think we're going to sign? I know it's coming up in the Patreon questions. Are we actually? Let me see who, because this is going to be my question to you, Steve. Do you guys think, right? Well, it's the second part question. Are we signing anybody else? Because a lot of the discussion was, oh my God, 2 million, I don't understand, and this, and I could understand the frustration. Then again, we're not financial advisors, and what if? And I shot this out yesterday. What if the budget is 50, and maybe that 2 million does make a big difference in the signings? But Steve, do you think this is it, CDK, or we?
It's never over. The Mercato's always open. They're always listening. They're always looking. They're always lurking. It's up until the final hour. They're going to look for deals. People on the cheap. I think there's a super signing coming in. I doubt it, but I think that they're missing a center back. I think they need a little bit more help in at the right wing, especially if we don't put CDK there. And the other thing is there's people that need to move out. Bakayoko, and it's time to move out of there. They think it's too crowded there. We need to get those salaries off the books. And that frees up more wiggle room for them to make a move, right? They did it with Daniele Maldini. We said it last year. We thought that he should have went on loan last year. It happens this year. Let's see what comes to fruition with this loan, but I think that's going to be good for him. A lot of playing time, continuity in Serie A, in a tough position for Salvezza. So he's going to learn how to survive before you come back to Milan. So I think that's great, but I'm more interested in who leaves than who we sign.
Yann, let me throw this out to you, because even stories of Renato Sanchez, if I have to believe, Milan is going, Maldini is going after these Roba de Milan players. This guy saying that he wants to wait out for PSG. Then I start thinking about, where is the guy going to play if he comes on? Then you have, as soon as they sign a defender, Gabbia will move to Sampdoria on loan. But I'm trying. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't understand. We have to go get a center back to replace Gabbia, which at least he has those. I'm not saying he's a superstar, Gabbia, but what do you make of all this sometimes nonsense?
I mean, Gabbia, Gabbia is a professional soccer player. I'm not going to say that he's not. But just if you're in Milan's position and you want to do somewhat better in the Champions League, go deep in the Coppa Italia, and, be in contention for the Scudetto, which they should be this year, do you really trust, with the fact that Kerr is old, and then you have Kalulu, who's, on a good run of 6 months at center back, but anything can happen. We've seen players, not that I'm hoping it, but you have to worry about all the options and scenarios that can happen. So are you comfortable going in there with really Tomori, Kerr, and Kalulu? I don't know. Gabbia is your fourth. To me, it doesn't spark a lot of confidence. If I have to go into a Champions League game, even against a team like Club Brugge, I don't really trust him to do that. So
you need to make at least two center back pairings.
Exactly.
Two full center back, completely rotational center back pairings.
I'm rooting for Gabbia.
You're in trouble.
I want Gabbia to do well. He's one of ours.
So on that note, guys, it shouldn't be, let's go out for this guy with, maybe we're going to buy him on a season dry loan because we're going to go back
into
this. That's
what you're reading.
Yeah,
you have to remember what you're reading and what is really going on is two different things. Guys, now you've won a Scudetto. You have some pedigree. The pedigree needs to continue. And, you chose to not go with Romagnoli and keep him. That's fine. Now you need to replace him. And we're replacing him with someone with more qualities than Gabbia has. And you have to remember that Kier is not only a little bit long in the tooth when it comes to age, he's coming off a very, very difficult knee injury, especially for center backs at that age to come back from. We have one freak of nature with an injury like that. Now we're going to see what Kier could do, but you have to manage his minutes too. So Kalulu and Tomori playing a lot, 3 competitions, fatigue, you need another center back. They need to find and address another center back. Unless Gabbia turns into someone that he is not, and I don't want to be disrespectful to him, but I don't think he's a center back who breathes confidence in terms of how he's playing his position for the past couple of years. He's not improved. If he would be improving, I would say, you know what, it's worth a shot. I don't think he's been improving, so we need to address center back.
Oh, I like you guys' take, and thank you for clearing that up. And Jamie's saying that Gabi is to Milan what Rugani is to Juve, unreliable. Some people could see like maybe some playing time at Sampdoria. We shall see. Taking over to Patreon, Gio, keep up the great work, guys. Everyone tuning in, hit that like button and subscribe. Please get that channel to 10K subs. How many players do you think Milan will sign this transfer window? Also, are you guys tired of hearing the same movie of Renato Sanchez? Catch me if you can. So yeah, I was referring to Gio's question, but we just discussed this. I think we might sign one player, but I wouldn't be surprised if we stick as is. We shall see, Gio. But Gio's ready for his CDK. Is a CDK number 90? Supposedly, maybe he's taking number 90. But you need to support the Puma there, Gio. Fabio saying, "Hey boys, you know what it is? When are we getting Stevie in the Jello pool? The ladies want it, the viewers demand it. Break the internet, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Milan Weekly Podcast channel. Don't forget to leave a comment about how you'd love to see coast to coast on this channel. All the best, boys. Forza Milan and Presidente, your move, buddy." So they're still negotiating. We're worse than CDK, but thank you, Fabio, for that. The problem with Gabi leaving is we need 4 players for academy, 4 Italian players. Yeah, I remember somebody mentioning that. Yes, we only have 2 academy players, Calabria and Pobega, plus 3 Italian, Mirante, Florenzi, and Tonal. Thank you for that. So that could be. So if he leaves, the squad will go down to 22 players, if I remember reading correctly yesterday. So that could be. Thank you for that information.
They have been dressing other young kids from the Primavera, though, right? In these preseason families that have some pedigree from the youth system. So they might just keep 2 names there to fill up those holes, which I don't think is the best thing for the development.
Yeah.
But that could be a way to shore it up, because I have seen a lot of them. Like, I don't watch all the preseason game. I just check up the lineup and see the highlights after, but because I don't care, frankly. But it's you see them there; they're getting some minutes. So why are they bringing so many youth kids to do these? I think something's brewing. But that's a very good point that he brings up.
All right. So to Fabio's question, Steve, you're gonna get the Jello, Fabio. You're gonna get it, but it's funny he's the only one that's mentioned it throughout this whole time. I think
it's really scary that he wants to see me in a Jello pool. Actually,
if Macias or Salamakers get Player of the Month in Serie A, would you do it? If one of them get Player of the Month,
I'm never gonna do it. It's never gonna happen.
Vinny Mancini, good evening, gentlemen. I had a blast during this weekend's group therapy session. Did wonders for my anxiety. To my first question, do you think the Maldini and Masara are planning a Galliana, aka Condor, the Condor-like transfer maneuver, waiting till the very last day, trying to get the best and cheap deal on the player? And the second question was, it does not really seem like Milan is worried about our current right-wing situation. Seems very low on the priority list. Does our management really believe that we can advance further within the Champions League with our current selection? With the way Macias has started the preseason, I think he can be a strong asset coming off the bench as a second, but the need for a top-level starting right wing is still very evident. What do you think? Milan continue to ignore this area and focus on others such as our midfield, which I think is currently in better shape? Thanks, guys, and keep up the great work. It is kind of like I'm trying to find what would be, guys, the reasonable thing, right? Like, help me understand Milan. It can't be a money thing because we just spent 35 million. It can't be that nobody wants to play that plays right wing would come to us. Steve, it's impossible that they don't see the need for a right wing. So what do you think would be the plausible explanation for, let's get a midfielder, let's get an attacking midfielder?
In all the other positions that they're trying to address, and the position of right wing is that both Macias and Salchicha Maker were both Maldini Masara pickups. So I think they're trying to give them the benefit of the doubt and trying to work their worth to be able to either sell to make a little bit of money back, or one comes and shocks the world and becomes the right wing that we're needing. But again, I don't know. I'm watching from here. I've said it and I've seen it for the longest time. I'm not gonna hide it. I think that this team last year with a proper right wing, maybe doesn't take the Scudetto down to the wire for the last day. And I think this team with a right wing this year would be much, much more dangerous than we seem to be right now.
Okay, and even to the argument that somebody was saying, would it be Milan spending 35 million without selling a player? Milan getting better in attacking with Origi, getting a better, getting a fine replacement in Adli, getting a players like CDK. They have improved from last year, but still with that right wing. Do you share?
We
I
don't
like
know.
what
We
I
don't
like
know.
what Stevie
Everybody on Twitter says we improved from last year. Let's
on
have
paper.
Serie A start.
On paper.
On paper. Last year, Inter was the best team on paper. We still ended up winning the Scudetto.
They're still favored to win the Scudetto this year. I don't know if you guys saw. Well, Juve was first, and then they dropped
could
because
be
of
whatever they want. They could be favorites. Again, I want to see 38 games. I want to see Adli and real Serie A matchups, not against the friendlies that we're playing. I want to see CDK. I want to see Origi finally play a game. I don't think we've addressed the striker position. I don't think Origi is the answer for that. So there's still a lot of work to do in the Mercato if they really want to. Now, do we have the money to do it? No. But they're going to have to start picking out and putting some names on the bulletin board and do a little bit of North American style. We need to address these positions and fast, or else we're going to end up in trouble and looking to a very strange winter Mercato. I don't want to leave it to the winter Mercato.
Yeah, and how about you? What I like what Stevie just said about their Massad and Maldini guys with those two mentioned above, Macias and Saladmaker. But that's the only plausible reason because they're not blind. They're much smarter than us when it comes to soccer and filling a gap. But you're saying that maybe they put Origi on the right hand side, but that will go back to just going up with Giroud and waiting. It doesn't make any sense. Do you have any other plausible explanation why? We're not okay. Ziyech, we still have a pitcher of beer, right? The bet was just if he's coming or not. So right now we owe each other one pitcher of beer.
I don't think he's coming.
Okay, well, we'll see.
I don't think he's coming because if the rumors are true that we had about 50-60 million to spend on the Mercato, I mean 35 has gone one way, 4.5 to Macias. You have about 10 to max 18 million euros to spend. That is not a figure of getting a starting right wing in Europe right now. Let's just be honest. It cost us 35 to get an attacking playmaking midfielder. I think it's going to cost that much, if not in transfer wages, at least in salary. Like what Ziyech wants and everything. Yes, he has a great profile, but unless he lowers his demands or Chelsea wants to pay a portion of it a la Lukaku, I don't see how it's going to happen for Milan. So I do see another signing in the sense of a center back because that to me is more pressing. Milan won the championship from the net out. Let's be honest. If it wasn't for our goaltending and center backs and the way our defense played down the stretch, it could have been a lot more difficult. Our strikers, like they dried up at one point, right? Last year near the end of the year. So I think if they go by their plan and with what the budget's left, I think they're going to bring in a center back over any other position. Do they notice? They have to see that we're not up to par. Not even in Serie A on the right side. I don't care if they've won a title. I don't care if these guys have performed well under certain conditions and they win games. I don't care. Like the visual assessment of these players is they're not top starting right wings, and that's fine. They're backups. If I'm pretty sure there's also the competitive level inside Paolo Maldini that he wants to go through with his plan. So right or wrong, you see this across all sports. General managers, they were going to go with their guys till the end. And then at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, it's the next guy's problem if you can't get rid of him, right? So I believe I agree with Steve on that point is like, I think they're comfortable with those guys. And look how fast they closed the deal for Macias. I mean, it was pretty fast at the beginning. I think that's what they want to use right now. And I think they believe that the rest of our team has such speed and attack in it that it's going to compensate. We'll see. It worked out for them last year. So who are we to say that they're wrong? But how many times could you go against the odds like that? You know what I mean? But I do think a center back is more priority right now. Like I'm not confident with just three. And one of them's a right back, let's be honest. He had a great center back. He has speed, but Florenzi's out because he's older, and Calabria goes down. There's no way Pioli's not playing Kalulu right back, and it's Chiara and Tomori playing. And then who's your center back on the bench? Just Gabbia? That scares me. That scares me a lot more than seeing Messias or Salamakers screw up on the right side, because that's in front of our net. You know what I mean? If I'm going to gauge like the danger zone, I'm more scared in front of my net than I am in the right side of the field.
On Twitter, Aladis was asking, same kind of question to Stevie P. Who do you think we're going to improve? What position on the field should we improve? And to at Babylonian 1, hey guys, I live in Toronto, but we're moving to Detroit soon. Anyone knows Milan club fan or where they show Milan's there? So I know you guys mentioned in the comments a little bit. So to you guys, anybody in Detroit, if you're Milan fans, yes, go reach out, guys, because we are Milan fans all over the world. Saying there is a post on Twitter that said that they tried to deal for Tommaso Mancini from I don't know who this player is. Did you guys read this as well?
I saw this as well
young
today,
kid
kid.
from Venezia Vicenza, made debut in his Azzurini U18, but I don't know more than that. But this is not our solution for striker. This would be a team. This would be a player for either the Primavera or someone that we would take and send out on loan and hope that he turns into the striker that we want in the future. Again, I get it. I see the comments. Young team last year. They're gonna get better. It's not necessarily going to be that they're going to get better. Let's say they decline. Leao is not a secret anymore. Giroud is not a secret anymore. Tomori and Kalulu are not a secret anymore. We had a lot of aces in our pocket.
Tonali's not a secret anymore.
Tonali's not a secret anymore. Exactly.
Underappreciated, yeah.
So these are the things that I worry about, because we all know Serie A. Is it the best league in the world? No. But I can guarantee you something, that those coaches are going to all be gunning for how to break down Pioli's press and the Milan. So you have no choice. I'm not saying you're forced to get better. You're not. The players could step it up. But it was a long season. You're going to play another long season, weird season, where it stops in the middle for the World Cup. So I'm looking and I'm pushing myself towards, I would rather try to, address these areas before, get the team, together playing up until the World Cup starts. And then after that, hopefully you can get on one of these runs again, because, the Inters and the Juves and even Roma, getting better. It's all going to be tougher games. And, those points that we were getting before won't necessarily equal the points that we're getting this time. So
true, but on the other side, I can say that it's the first time in a long time we have consistency. A coach for 3 years. We have one player that's not part of our starting 11 from last year compared to the other teams. So to me, it should improve. I know we always try to stay cautious, and just like Suso. We used to freak out. It's like, how come this guy hasn't figured out his move? And after a while, and so I get to where you're coming from on
that
those
player so much. I hated Suso. My God, I'm so glad.
Why the little cut in?
I could not stand that player. That was, what a gross player.
Let it all out, Yann. But before we get into busted tweets, because there's nothing else to talk about than this, CDK. Maybe we're gonna have another player to talk about, and then it will be the season starting. Before we get into the busted calcio takes, quick word to our friends, guys. Okay, in the comments, you guys were joking around with the pool of Jello and your man-made shorts. For those that don't know, when we put up a goal of like $3,000 at one point for a donation for the Toy and Food Drive here in Montreal. We reached it. That's where the bet came from. But man-made, that's what I want to talk about, guys. Manmade.com. Guys, they just came out with a t-shirt line. They have the socks, they have the boxers. For anybody that's actually bought them, guys, these things are fantastic. And the t-shirts, I'm going to think about it, because if they're made out of the same material than the actual underwears. Did you guys pick those up by any chance? I know they just came out recently.
No,
you guys know. But guys, make sure that you put the MWP that you heard of them from us, and they'll, what did you say, Steve? They'll sprinkle a little Milan love in the package. So to Man-Made guys, I don't know. I know a couple of guys, Timmy from Toronto had bought some, says he loves them. So thank you to friends. And to anybody in Montreal, it's still warm out there. We already know who wins this week. Yeah. To our friends in Montreal, again, to Dairy Queen on P9, guys. He even told me, don't have to be part of the Milan Club. Just mention Milan Club Montreal. And it's not just on cakes. Everything that's regular price, take 10% off. Just mention the Milan Club Montreal. So just wanted to give them some shout outs. I just wanted to know, Yann, how did you just come up with 3 busted tweets? We had a plethora.
I just wanted to keep it short. It's still preseason, and I didn't want to make it the Lupo segment, so I just chose one that we can discuss.
All right, so let's go.
I just wanted to wish every Roma fan congratulations. It's the start of August right now. This is when you're always the Scudetto favorite.
Okay, thank you. We send our love. So Let's take a look at slide number 1. So Napoli talk. If these things come true, Raspadori, Simeone, Szoboszlai, Nandes, Kepa or Navas, the objective here isn't competing for the Serie A. We are winning the goddamn Champions League, baby. Napoli talk. Okay. So according to this gentleman, getting these 5 players, it's not the objective is not Serie A. We're winning the Champions League, guys. I took a look at Real Madrid play Juventus, and yes, I can see this Napoli team, manhandle a Real Madrid under Ancelotti. Steve, did you ever see this tweet before, or is this hitting your eyes for the first time?
I saw it, and again, we talk about how Milan Twitter can really go, to left field with a lot of things, and
yes, they do.
We suffer with some of this as well, but this guy here is playing FIFA 23 career mode, his style though. Like he's being, he has no reality put into his career mode. This is him picking the players that he wants with an unlimited budget, and with a president that is not called ADL. So. Unfortunately, Napoli talk, you get on the busted tweets because you have to understand what it is to win a Champions League before you can say you're winning the Champions League.
They've all won,
and you also have to make the Champions League.
They've all won it on PlayStation,
which I'm not sure they're gonna do this year. Top 4, not the way everybody else has improved. And
if they sign all these 5 players that they're saying, I could see them fighting for top 4. Definitely.
Have they signed any of these players?
Absolutely nobody.
Even though Simeone is the most inconsistent striker of the last 4 years. I mean, he had that game where he scored 4 goals, then 3 goals, and then everyone went crazy in the January Fantacalcio Mercato, and then he did nothing. So that's great.
At 7 goals.
Kepa and Navas. I mean, why would you need it? You guys had Mere. He plays on Wednesdays. The greatest goalie ever, no? He's the number 1 now. You didn't need to keep Ospina.
Kepa is what, 75% of the salary?
You understand the salaries of these
players? The salary of Kepa, Szoboszlai,
3/4 will be paid by Chelsea.
Sassuolo is going to bend over for Juve at some point and sell him over there for half the price. So get him off your list. Napoli fans, he's going to go to Juve. And Nandes, I don't know. There's numerous players with that last name, so I'm not sure which one he's talking about exactly. But
here's the freeway. Can we put him on right away? Let's put him on. Here's this Freeway Frank busted take of the night.
Facebook
Frank.
Good old Frank.
You're the best.
What do we have? What do we have at number 2? That the Gianluca Zamat. Really sad that Serie A fans hype up random signings to their clubs like they're major stars. Milan signed a random Belgian dude from Bruges, and Napoli signed a farmer from Georgia. Man, stop the gas.
Now, Gianluca is a Juventino, so I don't know. Steve, remind me who they compared Zakaria to when they signed him. Was it Patrick Vieira?
The next coming of Patrick Vieira.
There's Frank from New York that shares the video that we couldn't play. I told him because we'd get it, busted off YouTube.
I didn't
but
get that.
The Locatelli's balling it. Like, we have to hear this hype. Locatelli, let's look at the national team. Is he better than Verratti? No. Is he better than Barella? No. Is he better than Tonali? No. He's not even a baller on our national team. He's a baller on your team, because your midfield is garbage. And that's why he looks like
But
a
I don't
baller.
understand from that video clip I'm looking at.
Then
Like, what is?
Pogba. We all had to get excited. Oh, Pogba is back, and then he's out until 2023. So I don't know. Like, I think he's just, sometimes when you make a tweet, you're really talking about your own fan base. Sometimes I think he's really talking about Juventini here, because Napoli, the guy that they signed, I remember Milan being after this guy, and I remember checking him out. He had some promise. Yes, he's an unknown player. So is CDK for the most part.
Mhm.
But you guys blew your load on Pogba right away. And now another one sitting on the bench, a la Ramsey, with a nice inflated contract.
These guys
Come on.
too. I don't know, Gianluca, but for someone to tweet this out, it means it's someone who doesn't watch too much soccer, and it's a typical Juventino, because Juventino could buy a bucket and a mop, and it would be the next coming of Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah.
That's just the way they're molded. All Juventino. Do we hype up players? Yes. But again, we manage our expectations. We're buying someone in CDK. Yes, he plays in Belgium, but he's also played the Champions League. So, and he's from paper to paper, one of Belgium's great, next great talents. And that's what Milan's objective is to find the next great talent. They've done something similar with Leao. And we have some sort of project. Juve just throw shit at the wall, which is called money. And what they do is everybody that they're bringing in is always better than everybody else. That's a Juve. They did it with De Ligt, and as soon as De Ligt left, he wasn't a good defender anymore.
Wow,
he was
they
the
turned
worst
on him
defender
fast,
ever.
huh?
Or
They were
or
using
defender
compilations other teams made of De Ligt's mistakes to show how bad De Ligt was to Bayern fans. That's a fan base right there.
and
That's a fan base. And
what's
then
the
they had
latest? What's the latest for Milinkovic Savic?
Kyle
Here's
Jorge.
Rugani.
Yeah,
and,
Rugani
and
and 44 million.
What an insult for the greatest. Okay, the best midfielder in Serie A in the last 3 years, top 4 SMS, and you're gonna do what? You're gonna offer Rugani and 44 million.
Who was this guy?
Caio Jorge was the next greatest striker in Brazilian history.
They stole
he
it
was
from
going
us.
to beat. They
Yes,
did.
they stole it
Milan
from
were
us.
interested, and thank God they stole.
Thank God they took him from us.
Those are the type of Jackson Martinez steals and Kumbambaye steals that people pull on Milan. If it's true that Milan wanted Caio Jorge, it looked like they were interested.
Yeah. Well, he made a post making
Go
fun of
look,
it.
Gianluca, at how you guys hyped up Caio Jorge. And yes, he got injured. But before he got injured, did not even play. He wasn't even the water boy. They didn't even want him on the bench to spray water at people. So before people come out with these busted things of, Milan fans and Napoli fans hype up their signings, look in your own backyard before you write these things out.
I want to give a mention because I know the third one is from our friend, but honorable mention to this tweet I saw last week. A Roma fan tweeted out, "Oh my God, over 24 million Dybala jerseys have been sold. Just from these sales, they've paid for the salary of Dybala." And then you have these people, like these smart people going, where are you getting these calculations? Like, that the team just gets like a small percent. So that means that they would have to sell like,
you know why, and I know he's a friend of yours, but some Roma fan has a very successful blog that loves to post articles with no sources, and they started from an AS Roma blog post that they sold so many. It was written very well. Reportedly outsold the Cristiano Ronaldo, but like you're saying, Vinny, they don't make every penny off every jersey. They don't produce them themselves. They make a small percentage of it.
That's why there's an initial fee that either in this case it would be Nike paying Roma to be the shirt sponsor. It's the initial fee, the same way Puma pays Milan, and whatever. It increased for Milan after we won the Scudetto. That's usually what happens. But Nike, do you think they even see Roma on the blip of their jersey sales?
No.
I don't understand people who, I don't know. And I don't want to say. And what I like to do is I like to ask people who know before I say something. I don't know where the logic has gone, and I think it's just social media because no one's accountable for that. No one's accountable anymore for just, saying things, and making, like you said, making it ambiguous of what it's actually the meaning of the article, right? So I respect AS Roma and and what they do, and John and all the guys at Italian Football Podcast. But,
Of course.
they're not shy to call a spade a spade. They're not shy, but they really take it bad when you call them out.
Yeah,
And that's not fair. Because
I had it in with Solano over when he made that article about the ref.
It's not because you're here. I'm saying the truth. They have a major problem when people call them out, but they get a free pass to call everybody else out. That's not my Twitter. That's not the way I work.
Let's go with Jamie's thoughts on Dybala's presentation. Too much?
They have nothing else to go for. And
I don't.
Roma's
You know what?
beautiful
I'm
city.
saying. They're happy for
Presentation's
signing a la
beautiful.
Dybala. Okay, but
Good for them.
who am I to judge? Oh my God, you guys just
No,
think
happy
you're
for them.
signing. Oh, happy for. Okay, you know what? If he can stay healthy, the guy. Steve,
He
was it
won't.
too much? No.
No, I think they needed that. They
Just
needed
needed-
something to celebrate.
Exactly.
Whatever Serie A does that's out of the box, I'm for. Even if it's Roma doing it.
Yeah,
Well,
it was
especially
nice
after
and
being
good for him.
European champions,
Yeah.
right?
You know what? The 7th team that he tried to get signed for finally took him, so I'm happy for him.
Last but not least, who do we have? Let's be honest. If Milan can win the Scudetto with that team and manager, anybody can. This is you chose this one here.
But anyone can. So, Mr. Lupo, I know you're saving up your little loans over there because you're in Toronto. It's depressing. You can't get out of your parents' house. I know my friends live there. It's expensive. So I know you're in the basement. You're a bit upset. And if any team could have won the Scudetto, why didn't Roma?
Well, with a
Why
team like
didn't
that and
Roma,
that
though?
manager.
They had all year they had a superior coach. He won things 10 years ago. He was a great coach.
Guys,
Then
you
the
know
team
what?
is amazing. Are you serious? I know Milan wasn't the greatest team last year, but we won the title anyway. We won it. We won it fair and square. And his other tweet was about, I don't want to entertain it anymore, that Milan cheats. So we won it fair and square. We beat the better team on the paper and on the field. We had the supposedly inferior coach who week in and week out made do with everything. Something that Mr. Mourinho is not always famous for, week in and week out making do with his players. So I don't know. If anyone could have won the Scudetto, why did Roma finish 17 points behind us?
Then he wrote
I don't know. Shouldn't it be closer?
This is another crybaby Roma fan
Of
who
course.
was not able, and I love when they pull out the rosters from when they didn't win the Scudetto. Look at this roster. It would have killed
I know.
everybody. We would have
But it
choked
didn't.
Milan. I would have jabbed my dagger in his neck and I would have sliced his throat. Look at this midfield that we had. Allison, we had everybody. And we still didn't win. The only thing we have in our trophy case is a fake alien and a bonsai tree. So from this day forward, I think, guys, I've thought about this, and I've spent so much time in the comments. Were even better than the tweet. The comments inside this tweet
They're the best.
are
The comments are the
fantastic.
best.
I'm joking.
But look, he's a great content creator because there was another tweet of his that I didn't make up. He was one person said it's funny how any account just mentions Milan and they get interactions, right?
Yeah,
because we're very
he's smart.
dominant on dominant.
But
on
I want to
Twitter.
take it. I don't want to do the reverse. I want to, for once, mention Lupo. So what we're gonna do here, and if you're on board,
We're gonna invite him on.
no, not even. I don't want him on.
I would have.
I don't want him on. I don't want him on. The way he tweets is not. He doesn't sound like someone we can talk to yet, unless he proves otherwise. But what we'd like to do, since the season didn't start, and we're gonna do busted Calcio tweets for 38 weeks, he cannot win every week.
Yes,
No.
that's true.
Let's make him the champion. Let's make it whoever wins busted Calcio tweets gets the Lupo award.
Hold on a second. There's got to be a number
It's like the
of
Vince
busted
Lombardi.
tweets. It can't be just you have one busted tweet and you get the Lupo award. You have
Every
three.
week you get the Lupo award.
Okay.
How about this?
We're
How
giving
about
out the
every week-
Lupo award.
Every week when us and the listeners pick the winner of the busted Calcio tweet, when Presidente puts it out on Monday, we tag Lupo to see if it's worthy to be a busted tweet, because he's like Abraham when it comes to busted tweets.
He's
The busted
He's the
tweets came from his
Socrates
loins.
of the busted tweet. No, but I want to make
Came
it.
from
I
his
want to make it.
loins.
I
straight
want
to
to
the
make
world.
it that every week we include him. But you know, like Oprah got so big and Oprah got so popular that she would not be allowed to win an Emmy. You know, she took herself out of the race.
Yes.
Ellen DeGeneres did the same thing. She was
Yes.
just too popular and was always going to win. She said, you know what? Make someone else win. I think we're going to do this for Lupo. Lupo's so good at this and so stupid with his tweets that we're going to take him out of it. Every
He's
week
like
we'll have a Lupo tweet.
Can we have a Lupo stamp? Like, this is Lupo approved.
Yeah, but that you could take care of it after. But the person who wins Busted Caucho tweets for that week, we will make Sonny make a Lupo award. And we're going to make him design it. And, you know, if we could even make a physical one, I would even be willing to send it off to these people. Like a little
Should do
small.
standings. Every time people win, you keep track.
Yes, who wins?
And then what we're gonna get? Rent free. I'm living rent free into your heads. No, like
No, well, I mean, unlike IFTV, we're actually giving you credit for the content that you're giving us. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. We're going to be using your content because,
Guys,
you know,
I vote
you guys
for the
make
Lupo
really good
award.
content.
I vote for the Lupo award.
Guys, Yann is still an intern. His views are his own, are not
They're
associated.
my own views. If I think you can read and need Braille, and I wanted to just, you know, that's my view. It's not these guys. You don't have to tag them like they're my parents. Okay? So just wanted to put that out there. Also, a little unknown fact, because not everyone was born in the 80s like us. Fantasy hockey pools in the 80s, Wayne Gretzky was not allowed to be picked. He was too good. He's like Lupo. Lupo is Wayne Gretzky.
All right, guys. So you know what? Give us some ideas. The Lupo Award, I like it. Sonny, when we find where he is in the world, we're gonna give him all these ideas. We love you, buddy. Yes, Yanni's got the fire. Guys, let's finish this off. Do you have any indigestions, brioshkis for this week? I didn't think of anything. I'm just coming to mind. Anything top of your head? Well, you know what? How about let's not make fun. Let's not fun, but England women, right, winning in front of the biggest
Good for them.
attendance,
right? And people want to know, but England, the men they won at home.
Celebrations. Did you see that?
No,
Not
good
a bunch
for
of
you know what?
the smashing faces. The women were there. Everyone was happy. A nice celebration after. Good for them.
Yeah, I have to give kudos to that.
So that's I think we could all agree on that one. But
yeah, good for them. Auguri.
How about any indigestions this week? Anything?
No,
recycled articles on Twitter. Actually,
no. You know what's giving me a bit of an indigestion? Why are we still even being mentioned with Renato Sanchez? He made his bed. Go to PSG. Gijo's there. Make your show or something. It's okay, bro. We don't. It's good. Ciao.
Go there or stay at Lille.
There we go. Gentlemen, but thank you very much. What a great conversation. Let's see what we kind of Yann, for those times you're not going to be there, we're going to make sure that we send you some content so you can have the slides ready. And guys, on that note, anything else before we say goodbye to our legions of viewers and listeners?
Wrap it up.
Oh, it's perfect. That's 69 viewers. Perfect number.
Guys, thank you again for joining. Stay tuned for.
Oh no! I see. Look, Gio popped up a good one. That's a big indigestion.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Gio.
yes,
Gio came in the clutch.
It shows that he has a podcast himself. He's always on the ball.
That one, actually, thanks Gio, because I remember noting it down, and it's how let's try to make sense of it.
Wait. Very American-owned team. They didn't read the fine print when they signed. It's probably mentioned in the very fine print that you can't do that. Let's be honest.
So why is Serie A, Facebook, Twitter can show me highlights? It's only them.
Serie A, Serie B. It's different. Different right holders.
So a guy like Como probably gonna have the same thing with the Fabregas. And
I am agreeing with Venezia wholeheartedly. It's a stupid rule. Very stupid rule. You're not growing your game at all. But these things are vetted. Lawyers make the contracts. Every team signs it. It's also showing a little bit of bad housekeeping from the. How did you not notice this at the beginning? Why didn't you make a puzza before signing the contract and getting whatever money was given to you?
Yeah,
but it's still embarrassing in this day and age.
It is.
It's not like Serie A.
Their defense, Yann. This should not even be in the contract.
What's the
No, of
reason
course
you
not.
guys think?
Not if you're trying to grow the game and you need Serie B struggles as it is. This should not be. This should
They probably
the
charge
highlights
too
should
much
be
to sell
free.
them.
Highlights should be free for Serie B, and not only free, they should give it to content creators, who do concentrate on Serie B teams for free to play it on
Sell
their
it
stuff.
with the Serie A rights.
Exactly, yeah.
And
Sell it with the Serie A rights, because I want to watch. There's about 10 teams in Serie B this year that I'm interested in seeing, just because I remember the names from the 80s and 90s when I was growing up, like Como and Pisa being some of them.
Venezia, right? How did they grow their brand since they got into the Serie A and went back to Serie B? They're all over social media, a lot of English content.
Picking fights with the Calcio guys.
Yeah.
They're picking fights with the Calcio guys. What happened?
Yeah, big interaction with them. That was funny. It was good.
No, but no, that's pretty. Thanks Gio, for letting us know. That's definitely, that's really, really a great indigestion for this week. So on that note, stay tuned for some more specials. Probably gonna get together maybe in the next week or so. If not, it's gonna be next Monday as we usually do. Stevie P, Vinny T, Yanni DB. That's what I gotta.
Oh,
that's
yes.
what,
Okay.
Yanni DB. I'm gonna go with that one there. In the end, gentlemen, ovunque e sempre.
Forza Milan.
Forza Milan.
Forza Milan, guys. Ciao.